That shit, like, fucking, I love every single line in this movie. I literally could recite the movie, like, while it's playing. Like, it's just so good. And I think for the fact that it came out at the perfect time, I think our generation really got lucky with music and with movies and everything else. We got it good because, we were kind of peak.
He's gonna talk in his old man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we did.
You kids don't know what it was like. We had it good.
Yeah. I mean, like the 90s were very punk rock,
Yeah.
And kind of anything goes. And I thought that's a great time to be coming of age and just like discovering your sense of humor and everything else. I mean, it was a perfect introduction to shitty movies. And like I said, this was my first DVD I ever bought. I think the other one I bought after this was Johnny Mnemonic for some reason.
Wow.
It was like it was like one of those. It was like $5. I'm like, whoa, it's a DVD for $5,
Yeah.
And so I bought that. But this was the first one I really went out of my way to find. And I think it was at Best Buy. And I got the uncut version. And I was so excited because like I couldn't see. I was waiting for that uncut version. And when it came out on DVD, it had both versions of it. And I was able to see it. And yeah, I think this movie holds up, and I think it holds up even better than when it first came out, just because of the fact that it's like I said, the pacing and everything else. We've kind of, like, movies have gotten more stimulating, more going on, if you can't capture the viewer every single second, then you've failed almost. And this movie does that. Without even like the time it came out, those movies weren't that style.
That wasn't a thing to do at all.
Yeah, and so like I said, we didn't even feel like picking up our phones the whole goddamn time that we're watching this movie, which I can't even say for most movies that come out now. So that's my take on it.
So Gavin, are you sticking with the 10?
I didn't say 10.
Oh
no, I thought he was going to give it a 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you go then.
No. I'm not gonna. My ratings don't make sense.
No,
and like, although I don't have one single bad thing to say about this movie, not one, I'm still only gonna give it an 8. Which for me, that's like still way up there. But I'm not gonna give it a 10, even though I can't say a single bad thing about it. So I can't justify that or explain why I feel that way. And I'm not even gonna try to explain the rating because. I've rambled for the last how long about all the things that I like about the movie. So
yeah, and I mean it's kind of like me with Quigley, man. Like you can't explain. I can't explain why I give that movie. I acknowledge all the bad things about it. I acknowledge that half the movie's just a fucking dog running down the sidewalk. But there's it's just it gets me.
Yeah. It's a gem.
So does anybody want to guess what I'm going to give this movie?
I think you're going to give this movie like a 6.
I was going to also say 6.
Okay, so you're both wrong.
Really?
Oh.
So, well, first of all, let me just say that if I were to just rate this on movies in his genre, I would agree with you, Jason. I'd probably give it a 12. Because I don't think that I'm going to ever see a movie that did it as right as they did it.
Yeah.
And not to say that it's a great movie, but for the genre it's in and how much I like the genre, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it on the basis of normal movies. I would give it like a 7.5.
Whoa.
So
I gotta say, I really think that this podcast is slowly changing you.
Yeah, it might be. Might be. And maybe at some point in time you'll play a movie that's just a piece of shit and I'll be like, oh, that was so good. But
yeah.
But that could very well be.
Yeah, my next pick is Prayer of the Roller Boys.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But
yeah, we're actually we're gonna be watching one of Gab's movies next because it actually goes well with the Troma.
Yeah.
What is it?
This is totally a coincidence because it's been on my radar for a while to show. It's Never Too Young to Die.
Okay. Do you want to tell us what? Because I'm curious what it's about. I know we're gonna redo what it's about when it's.
Well, let me say up front, Never Too Young to Die, not a horror movie.
Okay.
So I already failed there, but it's an 80s movie where our hero is high school super spy John Stamos.
Okay.
Nice.
And the villain is hermaphrodite played by Gene Simmons of Kiss,
Oh shit!
Wow.
whose goal in life is to poison the water supply of L.A.
Okay.
So John
Interesting.
Stamos has to use his spy gymnast skills to stop Gene Simmons from poisoning the water supply.
I
of
hope
LA.
this is as good as Cutting Class or Dental School.
Wow.
I have not seen Dental School, but I think
That's because no one keeps whoever has it isn't returned it to the video store.
yeah. I think I can say with confidence that this is in the range of Cutting Class.
Oh, I hope so because I love Cutting Class. That was one of the.
That's
I think that was the most surprising movie that we've seen so far. Like I enjoyed it as much as I did.
I think Never Too Young to Die. I showed this to my sister, my brother-in-law, just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I've been making people watch this movie, and they watched it, and half of the movie was they're like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
But not in a bad way.
Yeah.
It was like, "What the hell?"
You know,
so I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised by this movie that nobody has ever heard of.
so not to go too off the rails, but when you show movies to people,
Yeah.
like you were talking about this before, like where you'll show somebody Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD,
Yeah.
and you'll show it to him knowing like this is like not a good thing to be doing, but
Yeah.
but I want to subject this person to it. I want somebody to see this with me. So I was thinking about that the other day, and I'm like, I did the same thing, except like the sad part about it is when I used to do it, I would be doing it thinking, there's no way
they're
Eric's not going to like this.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would show people like fucking Terra Firma, or I would show people Blood Sucking Freaks, and I'd be like, this movie's fucking, you're going to fucking love this movie. And everybody'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
And I had that lack of self-awareness.
I wouldn't show somebody Blood Sucking Freaks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But there's other movies where I recognize it's bad, but I'd still show somebody. Just because I'd be like, hey, this is. But there's other Blood Sucking Freaks I wouldn't show people. Most of the cannibal movies I wouldn't show people.
Well, like Gummo, I showed Gummo too.
Everybody.
I would show Gummo to people.
Yeah. So I got so much shit. Fucking Nick Bees, God rest his soul. Fucking Nick Bees demanded an hour and a half of my time back. Or of his time back. He was like, you owe me an hour and a half. Like, and he was so fucking, everyone was mad at me. Like, I'm like, I'm sorry, I thought you guys would like it.
But that was the epitome of bad movies you've shown people, Jason. That movie's terrible. My favorite
I love it.
My favorite thing about watching a movie with Jason, and I remember the first time we ever went to a theater and watched a movie, and I think the movie was called Wolf Creek that we went and saw.
Oh, it could have been.
I'm sorry.
And Jason's like, oh, you guys are going to fucking love this movie. It's going to be fucking awesome. And this has happened on numerous occasions. We get halfway through the movie and he turns and looks at me and he's like, I'm sorry, man, this movie
It wasn't
sucks.
Wolf Creek. You know what it was? It was Seed of Chucky.
I know it happened with Seed of Chucky too,
Yeah.
but I think it happened with Wolf Creek as well. There was like a span where every movie you're like, you got to go see this movie. And we're like, fine, we'll go see the movie.
Yeah.
And then we would watch it and I'd be like, oh
thank
my
you
God.
for being a good sport though, man.
Yes.
You always supported me.
Seed of Chucky's not. Wolf Creek has a lot of fans, and I've just always thought it was boring.
Well,
as
have you
hell.
seen the sequel? Because the sequel's very, very good.
It's better.
It's better.
It's not. I don't get it. I don't get the Wolf Creek love, but whatever.
I just think his character, I forgot what his name, Mick something or other. I just fucking love it. I think his character is fucking hilarious, and I haven't really watched. There's a TV show for that too, if you didn't know. And I haven't. I watched like the first episode. It was pretty good, and then after that, it kind of just turns into like a detective show.
Yeah.
And it's not like you don't see a lot of Mick, and it's like, well, what's the fucking point? I can watch a shitty detective show.
Sure, yeah. There's plenty of those on TV, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna wrap this episode up so Gavin can get to his thing he's got to do in 45 minutes. So
Yeah.
but I forget. Gavin, what was the movie for next week we'll be back with?
Never Too Young to Die.
Never Too Young to Die. We'll be back in 2 weeks with that movie. And thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to Hobbs and Horror Movie Review Podcast.